Thanks, Kev. You're welcome, Huss. All right. Hey, everybody. How are you? Hungry. All right. Believe it or not, this is our last week talking about King Solomon. It's crazy because we've talked about him for almost 2 months because of all the breaks. And I know y'all know a lot about him now, but we're just going to talk about him just a little bit more because the end of his life, it ends kind of tragically in a way, and it actually doesn't even really end after he dies. I'll explain that a little bit. But first, I want to tell you all about something very near and dear to my heart, my BB gun when I was a kid. So, I had a neighborhood friend named David who got a BB gun for his birthday. We went in his backyard and I watched him shoot it. He wasn't very good at sharing, but I got to shoot it a little bit, and it was the coolest thing ever. I don't know if y'all have ever shot a BB gun, but it's so fun. He told me all these stories about him like going hunting and like killing birds with his BB gun. It was super cool. So I went to my mom and my dad. I was like, hey, I need this. I need a BB gun very badly. And they said, no, you don't. And I forgot about it until Christmas time. And there was this long rectangular box that was wrapped, propped up by the tree. And I opened it up, and there it was, a Daisy Red Ryder. It was beautiful. And let me tell you why Red Ryder is important, okay? David had a Daisy Buck. It's smaller, it's not powerful, it's not as good. I had a Daisy Red Ryder. It was a black barrel, wooden stock that said Red Ryder on it with a bullseye. It was practically a shotgun. It was so powerful. And me and my dad went outside that same day to shoot it. And we got in this cardboard box and printed out a little target and taped it on it. And then we got this like bunch of newspaper and put it in the cardboard box so when I shot it, it would like catch the BBs so I could reuse them. It's pretty smart. And we'd go outside and I would shoot the BB gun and hand it to my dad because I couldn't pump it. And then he'd hand it back and I would shoot it, and we did that over and over again. And I loved that thing. And so the very next day I said, Dad, can I go shoot my BB gun by myself? And he said, yes, you can. And then he looked at me, just like how I'm looking at Hudson. And he said, but only shoot at the target. And I said, yes, sir. And in my head, I thought, yeah, unless I see a bird, right? I'm definitely going to shoot the bird, obviously.
Oh, no.
So I go outside, and I can kind of pump it myself, and I'm dialed in, like nailing it, okay? And I see this bird fly by. But I'm not Hawkeye, I'm not going to like shoot it midair. So I keep an eye on it. And it lands on the tree right behind the target. This little sparrow. It's a sign from God that I need to shoot at this thing. So I look in the back window to see if my parents are watching, and they weren't. And so I go, and I shoot it. Nothing. The bird didn't even know it got shot at. That's how bad I missed. It just stood there, just totally fine. And so I quickly try and load another one, but it flies away. And I'm looking at the bird, and I hear it. The back door opens. And I look, and it's my dad, and he just was like, come on. And I walk over and just kind of like hand him the gun. And he said, I'll give this back to you when I can trust you. And I was like, and the worst part, I didn't even get to flex on David that I had the better BB gun. I had it for one day and got it taken away. Because I was given specific instructions and did not follow them. I knew better, and I had to shoot at that bird, right? Okay? But, good point, but literally, if I had any type of wisdom, I would have known there was literally a house right behind that tree that I was shooting at. I was shooting directly at my neighbors. Like, I was very foolish for that. So, maybe y'all can see where I'm going with this. Solomon's story is not very different than that, okay? And at the end of his life, things get taken away from Solomon because he doesn't listen to God's wisdom, okay? Now, before we get into it, we're just going to do a little bit of a review, so go ahead and shout out some answers if you know it, okay? Who was Solomon's dad? David. Great job. All right, this was a little harder, but I bet some of y'all will know it. Who was Solomon's mom? Good job, Bathsheba. All right. Hey, what did Solomon ask God for? Wisdom. Good. How many years was Solomon king?
25.
40 years. Okay. Alright, next question. This one's gonna be funny, but y'all are all gonna know the answer to this one. How many wives did Solomon have? 700. Okay. Okay. At the end of his life, hey, last question. At the end of his life, what did Solomon say about all his possessions?
Worthless.
It was nothing. It was worthless. The word he says is vanity. It was all vanity. Hey, listen. Look how much y'all know about Solomon. I'm really impressed. Like, great job. Y'all actually do know quite a lot. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done. Okay. Hey, seriously, y'all have listened really well, and I'm proud of y'all. Y'all know a lot more about Solomon than y'all probably did beforehand. Okay? So I want to encourage y'all. Great job. But now I want to challenge y'all a little bit more. Knowing stuff about the Bible, knowing stuff about Scripture is not nearly as important as doing what Scripture teaches. Okay? I will say that again. Knowing stuff about Scripture isn't nearly as important as doing what Scripture teaches. So, especially in your small groups, I want y'all to not just think about it like you need to memorize or learn more stuff. I want y'all to think about the lesson and then apply it to your life. Okay? Because no math teacher cares if you've read the entire math textbook if you can't multiply. They don't care that you read that much if you can't do what it says. So I want to encourage y'all, the Bible's really not any different. This is not just time to learn more stuff. I want y'all to apply it to your lives. Okay? Awesome. Let's finish up Solomon. Sound good? Sound good? Yeah. Okay, so 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 4. This is what it said. When Solomon was old, his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not wholly true to the Lord his God, as was the heart of his father David. Okay, so quick application right away. This is easy. Don't have 700 wives. Y'all can all do that. That's easy one. Okay, take that, apply it to your life. It's not even allowed.
It's not legal.
Alright, bring it back in. Alright, hey. Bring it back in.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Verse 9, okay? This is more interesting. The Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart had turned away from the Lord, the God of Israel, who had appeared to him twice. All right, notice how the Lord isn't angry with Solomon's wives for turning him away. He's angry with Solomon because he should have known better. Actually, it's more accurate to say he was angry with Solomon because Solomon did know better. Okay, my dad probably couldn't have been mad at me if he had just given me the BB gun and said, go out and have a great time. He couldn't have been mad at me for shooting at a bird at that point. But he specifically said, only shoot at that target. And then I was like, I hear you, Dad, but I'm going to shoot at this bird instead. And Solomon's no different. God says, don't pursue that lifestyle, Solomon. And Solomon says, I hear you. I'm going to go have 700 wives. Right? He knew better. And he did it anyways. And there's a punishment. There's ramifications for his actions. Alright? The big one is that the kingdom is going to be split. He said he's not going to do it to Solomon, but he's going to do it to his son. Okay? And then Solomon dies. Bye-bye, Solomon. Natural causes. It's really not that dramatic, but we're done with Solomon. He was about 60 years old. Yeah. Okay, listen up. The next king, his name is Rehoboam. Say Rehoboam. Good job. Solomon's son. Rehoboam does way, way better, right? No, he really doesn't. This is what happens to Rehoboam. He goes to the people when he becomes king, and the people say, Solomon treated us really harshly. If you will treat us a little nicer, we'll follow you. And so Rehoboam goes to the elders, the wise people, you might say. And he goes, hey, what should I do about them? And they said, if you will be nice to them this day, they will serve you forever. And he goes, all right, cool. I'm going to go to my friends, my peers, and I'm going to ask them, hey, what should I do about the people? And then they say, and this is actually what they said, tell them that your pinky is bigger than your dad's thigh. And then they said, yeah. And then they said, and tell them that you're going to make their burdens way heavier. And where Solomon beat them with whips, you're going to beat them with scorpions. Which scorpions is another type of whip that hurts way more. Okay? And Rehoboam chooses his friends. And he says to the people, hey, guess what? My pinky is bigger than my dad's thigh. And they're like, then he said, and your burdens are going to be so heavy, and I'm not going to beat you with whips. And they're like, oh? And he's like, I'm going to beat you with scorpions. They're like, oh my gosh. And then guess what the Israelites do? They leave. They say, no, you're not. And they go home, and they split. The 10 northern tribes become Israel, and the 2 southern tribes, Judah and Benjamin, become Judah. I don't know why they don't become Benjamin. Hey, listen. God's people that he took out of Egypt, he gave them the promised land, and they ruin it. They're split up now. The whole thing is blown up. We've started this downward spiral that's not going to end until Jesus comes back. Okay? Years, hundreds of years of just bad is about to happen. Why? Because Solomon rejects God's wisdom. And because Rehoboam rejects the wisdom of the elders. Okay? It's super serious. It's super unfortunate. So, we're going to go into our small groups. I'm going to leave you with a question. Alright? Think about it and bring it to your small groups, okay? Remember, have a great conversation in your small groups and apply it to your life, alright? So the question is just this, alright? Hey, listen up. The question is this. Where do you get your wisdom from, and do you actually listen to it? Alright? Y'all, love y'all. Go to your small groups.